This is OwlUp, where learning happens in minutes, not hours. For a deeper journey, explore all our courses at owlup.co. Now, let's dive in. Chapter 3 of How Startups Actually Work, From Idea to Product Market Fit. Understanding your market, research and customer personas. In this chapter, you'll learn identify techniques for effective market research. Let's dive in. About half of startup founders can describe their product in one sentence, but stumble when asked, "Who is this really for?" In this episode, we'll drop into that awkward pause and turn it into your biggest advantage, knowing your market better than your competitors do. Here's the twist. Your customer usually isn't one person. It's a messy cluster of behaviors, constraints, and half-spoken needs hiding behind job titles and demographics. Two people with the same role and salary can buy for totally different reasons. One is terrified of risk, the other is chasing a promotion. One hates meetings, the other lives for presentations. On a spreadsheet, they're identical. In reality, they'll respond to completely different products, pricing, and messaging. That gap between what your data says and what your customers actually do is where founders quietly lose months of burn and most of their marketing budget. In this episode, we'll zoom in on that gap. We'll dig into practical ways to collect meaningful market signals, then turn them into sharp, realistic personas your team can actually use when making product, sales, and growth decisions. Most founders try to think harder about their target users when they're stuck, but the real unlock is thinking smaller and more concrete. Instead of chasing a perfect, unified portrait of the customer, you zoom in on specific moments. The late-night spreadsheet panic, the awkward status meeting, the silent churn after a trial ends. Each of these is a doorway into a different slice of your market. In this episode, we'll treat those moments like weather patterns, recurring conditions you can observe, name, and prepare for, so your product feels like it was built exactly for that storm. Data is where the fog starts to clear, but only when you collect it on purpose. Start with the simplest split, what people say versus what they do. Surveys, forms, and discovery calls tell you how customers describe their world. Analytics, CRM notes, and support tickets show you how they actually move through it. Your job is to line those two up and look for the tension. They say they care about X, but they keep clicking on Y. That tension is often the seed of your best persona. Quantitative tools give you shape and scale. Even a basic funnel, visit, sign up, activation, paid, reveals clusters. People who skim your site and bounce in 5 seconds, people who poke around pricing and disappear, people who sign up and hit your limit in a day. Think of these as rough outlines, borders on a map, not yet the cities. You don't need fancy dashboards, you need consistent tracking of a few behaviors over time. Qualitative work colors those outlines in. 5 focused conversations with users who just signed up, just upgraded, or just churned will surface patterns faster than 50 generic interviews. Ask about their last week, the last tool they tried, the last time this problem embarrassed them in front of someone important. Keep dragging the story back to specifics. Screenshots, phrases from their boss, numbers they stare at. Now, connect the dots. Take one clear behavior pattern, say, people who upgrade within 72 hours, and layer on what channels brought them in, what pages they read, what objections they raised, what success meant in their own words. You're not inventing a persona, you're compressing all of that into a single, memorable snapshot your team can point at. Give it a name and a one-line mission, then stress test it. Would this person actually click that ad, sit through that onboarding, sign off on that price? Over time, a handful of these snapshots will explain most of your revenue. The art is deciding which few deserve attention now and which belong on the backlog of future selves your company will serve later. A concrete example. An early-stage productivity startup noticed 2 strange clusters in their signups. One group arrived late at night from niche blog posts, instantly connected a calendar, and created 10+ tasks within an hour. Another group came via LinkedIn, skimmed a template gallery, and only returned days later, usually after a team meeting. Instead of smoothing those into one busy professional bucket, They treated each as a separate stream to investigate. 5 calls with the night owls revealed solo consultants racing to finish client projects. Their burning need was fewer dropped balls, not prettier boards. The LinkedIn cohort turned out to be middle managers under pressure to standardize process across teams. From there, the team didn't just tweak messaging, they split onboarding entirely. Consultants got a today's firefight setup flow. Managers saw a roll this out to your team in 30 minutes path, complete with rollout emails. Revenue didn't just rise, support tickets dropped because both groups finally felt the product was speaking their language from the first click. AI won't just describe segments, it will quietly run thousands of what-if experiments for each one. Instead of debating which feature to ship, you'll see live projections. Ship variant B for this slice, C for that one. Like a chef tasting constant micro batches, your product will evolve through tiny, targeted tweaks. The tension. The same tools that reveal hidden needs can also cross invisible ethical lines. Startups that bake in consent, transparency, and data minimalism will earn a compounding trust advantage. Personas aren't homework to finish, they're instruments you keep tuning. As your product ships, let fresh data nudge you to adjust the notes on each profile. New objections, surprise champions, odd use cases. Treat every launch like opening a new restaurant location. Same recipe, different neighborhood. And you're listening for what customers actually order twice. To go deeper, here are 3 next steps. 1. Open Google Trends and Meta Audience Insights and plug in your top 3 customer persona ideas. For example, remote marketing manager at startups, new Etsy seller, etc. To compare actual search interest, demographics, and related interests. Screen capture anything surprising. 2. Grab the free value proposition canvas from Strategizer's website and, using what you learned from the episode, map one real customer segment's jobs, pains, gains. Then draft 3 to 5 product or content ideas that directly hit those pains and gains. 3. Use a tool like userinterviews.com or respondent.io to schedule 3 short customer discovery calls this week with people who match your primary persona, and base your questions on the problem, behavior, and buying process structure the episode described. This was OwlUp, your daily step forward. To keep learning with structured courses and more insights, go to owlup.co. Until tomorrow!